Hello everyone, this is Ma'am Jane again, your English teacher, and in this video lesson, I will be explaining to you class English Quarter 1 Module 6. And this module is entitled Using Phrases, Clauses, and Sentences Appropriately and Meaningfully. So to begin with, just like what we are doing always, let us first begin with what I need to know. So, in this what I need to know, you can find the objectives in the module that we will be discussing. So we have here 3 objectives. So the first one, so when you finish this module, you are expected to first identify group of words as phrase, clause, and sentence. So you will encounter in this module series of words or group of words. All you need to do is to identify if those words or group of words are phrases, clauses, and sentences. Of course, for you to identify them, we need to discuss phrases, clauses, and sentences in detail. Also, the next one, you will learn to describe phrases, clauses, and sentences. And lastly, you will write coherent phrases, clauses, and sentences. So if you will notice, this module is focused on these 3 topics. So we have here phrase, clause, and sentence, or phrases, clauses, and sentences. Okay, so we have here these 3 examples. So the first one is under phrase. Of course, that is an example of a phrase. We also have here example of clause, and the last one we have here example of sentence. So in terms of being long or short, so if you will notice, under phrase we have a short example. Under clause we have maybe longer compared to phrase, and sentence of course is a long one. But remember students that not all sentences are long. Okay, so all you need to do is to remember this. When we say phrase and clause, they are incomplete. The message or the thought is incomplete. Just like this one, long bamboo tube. So if you will analyze this, we do not know what happened to the long bamboo tube. We do not know where it is found or who is the owner of the long bamboo tube. Those details are not written here. So that's the reason why this is incomplete. And this one is a phrase. So later, don't worry, later we will be discussing in detail the meaning of this one, phrase. The second one, we have here a clause. So not clause, but clause. So under clause, we have the Spaniards who first visited. So again, that example is incomplete because we don't know what country is being visited by the Spaniards, so that is unknown. The detail is incomplete, so this is incomplete. So that's the reason why it is also a clause. And we have here this pronoun. No, later we will be discussing them one by one. And in sentence, we have here this one, this example. It says, Paumbong is a third-class, partially urban municipality. So, sorry for the typographical error. It is municipality in the province of Bulacan. So, if you will analyze the given, so, and ask yourself, what is the third-class, partially urban municipality in the province of Bulacan? So, you will know the answer. Of course, the answer is Paumbong. And if you will ask yourself, tell something about Paumbong. So, you can find here again the answer. It is a third-class, partially urban municipality in the province of Bulacan. So, another question, if you will ask yourself, where can we find Paumbong? So, we have here Bulacan. So, all the details are complete. So, that's the reason why it is, or it has a complete thought. It has a complete meaning. So that's the reason why it is a sentence. So if we will summarize the things that I said, So praise and clause, they are incomplete, while sentence is complete. So it has a complete thought. So to explain to you in details the difference between the three, praise, clause, and sentence, let us have this one. So the first one, we have here a praise. So a praise is a group of related words that is used as a single part of speech. So imagine it is just used as a single part of speech and does not contain a verb and its subject. So why do we say it is used as a single part of speech? Because it is short, or they are short. So just like this one, it is only composed of 3 words. This is also 3 words. This one, 3 words again. 2 words, 3 words, and so on and so forth. And usually, remember class, a praise does not. No, it does not contain a verb and its subject. So when we say verb, it is an action word, salitang kilos. So all the words that shows action, they are all verbs. So just like eat, talk, walk, and jump. So they are all show action. So that's the reason why they are action words or verb. On the other hand, when we say subject, it is the doer of the action, or the one being mentioned in a particular sentence. For example, Ma'am Jean, Anna, Lorena, so they are all subjects. Even he, she, they, so they are all subjects. Okay, so we have here kinds of phrases. So it mentioned we have here prepositional phrase. We also have noun phrase. And the third one, we have here verb phrase. So those are the kinds of phrases. So later, we will be discussing them in detail. Just like what I said, we will be discussing them in detail. So we have here kinds of phrases. So the first one, we have, of course, the noun phrase. So we have here noun phrase. So when we say noun phrase, it is a word or group of words that functions in a sentence as subject. So subject, doer of the action. Or sometimes it functions as an object. Or in other words, object is also called prepositional object. So just like in this case, the underlined words or group of words are called noun phrase. Okay, let us first discuss this one. The principal in that school is Mr. Cruz. So the underlying group of words is the principal in that school. So this is considered a noun phrase. And this noun phrase is used as subject in the sentence. Because based on what we know, usually subject is written in the beginning of the sentence. So it is written in the beginning of the sentence. And on the other hand, this one, Mr. Cruz is the principal in that school. So the underlined group of words is the principal in that school. And it is also a noun phrase, but remember students that in this case, this noun phrase is used as object because it tells something about Mr. Cruz. Okay, so remember, noun phrase is used as object. Another word for object is prepositional object. And noun phrase is also used as subject. Okay, remember that. So now, let's go on to number 2. We have prepositional phrase. So when we say prepositional phrase, it is a group of words again consisting of a preposition. So that is the clue word. The reason why it is called a prepositional phrase because this phrase is composed or consists of preposition, and it contains also an object and any words that modify the object. So the clue word, just focus class on the word preposition. In English, we have many lists of preposition. So just like this one, these are some of the commonly used prepositions in the English language. But if you want to have a complete list, you can search that over the internet. Okay? But again, these are some of the commonly used prepositions. in English. Okay. So let us go back to the example a while ago. We have this one. Tomorrow, we will be having a meeting at 9 o'clock in the morning. So we have here the preposition at, and then the rest of the words. And when you underline this group of words, this is called prepositional phrase because it begins with a preposition. So maybe that is the clue. For you to find the prepositional phrase, look for the preposition, or it has a preposition. And these are some of the prepositions again. So now let's go on to number 3. So we have here verb phrase. So from the word itself, verb, action word. So it is part of the sentence containing the verb, just like what I said, and any direct or indirect object, but not the subject. Because just like what I said a while ago, when we say praise, it does not have a subject. Okay? Since this is a verb phrase, so it should have a verb. Because from the word itself, verb phrase. So, for example, he delivers the message late in the afternoon. So, remember class, usually or not always, usually, the verb is found beside the subject. So, we have here the subject, he, and this is the verb, delivers. So, include the rest of the sentence, the message, because this one is direct object. So, delivers the message here is a group of word, and that is called verb phrase. So, why do I say that the message is a direct object? Because remember, direct object answers the question what and who. So, what does he delivers? The message. The answer is the message. So, it answers the question what and who, or what on the other hand. Or in this case, it answers the question what. So, that is a direct object. On the other hand, when we say indirect object, it answers the question when, where, just like that. Okay? So, in this case, it answers the question what. That's the reason why it is a direct object. So, verb together with the direct object, it is now called verb phrase. So, I hope everything is clear. So, now let us go on to the word clause. So, we are now on the second topic, clause. Clause is a group of words with at least a subject and a verb. Unlike praise, I said a while ago, it does not have a subject and a verb. But a clause is a group of words with at least a subject and a verb. Okay? It has a subject and a verb. It can be independent or dependent clause, just like this one. Harris is back from work, so he must take a rest. So, in this case, Harris is back from work is an independent clause kasi kaya niya mag-isa. That's why independent. So, he must take a rest is a dependent clause. So, remember students, dependent clause is also called subordinate clause. Okay? So, what is how can we define them? So, an independent, or in other words, it is called main clause. Remember, independent is also called main clause. It can stand alone. Gaya nga ng sabi ko kanina, nakapag-iisa. While a dependent, or in other word, it is called subordinate clause, also has a subject and a verb, but it cannot stand alone. Because it starts with subordinate words. It starts with this one. This is called subordinate word. Thus, it can only be part of a sentence. Because when we will erase this one, pag binura natin to, sentence pa rin si Harris is back from work. That's the reason why this part is independent clause. But, if we will erase this one, and we will focus on this one, it cannot stand alone. Okay? Because of the word so. And so is a subordinate word. That's the reason why it cannot stand alone. That's why it is called dependent or subordinate clause. But remember, it has a subject and a verb, but it cannot stand alone. Also, this one, subject and verb, but it can stand alone. So I hope everything is clear. So now, let's go on to kinds of clauses. So we have here adjective clause. So adjective clause appears after the noun or pronoun. So it has a clue. Adjective clause appears after the noun or pronoun it modifies. It appears after the noun or pronoun it describes. It is usually connected to the word it modifies by a relative pronoun. So we have another clue. Aside from it describes the noun and pronoun and it is found beside that noun and pronoun, it also has a relative pronoun that, which, who, whom, and whose. So we have a clue. But also, adjective clause uses relative adverb. So typographical again, sorry for the typographical error. So relative adverbs such as after, before, since, when, were, and why. Okay, so just like in this case, so Bulacan is a famous province which is considered as the culture capital of the Philippines. So the underlying group of words is an adjective clause because it describes the famous province, and that is Bulacan. So but it describes the famous province. Okay, and also it begins with which, and which is this one, a relative pronoun. Okay, so another, we have many well-loved personalities in Bulacan since the beginning and until now. So it describes the noun Bulacan, and it uses this one, since. So since is a relative adverb. So since it describes noun and pronoun in the sentence, they are called adjective clauses. Okay, adjective clauses. And remember, you have a clue. So when you found this one, they are you have a clue at least that that clause is an adjective clause. On the other hand, we have adverb clause. So adverb clause is also a subordinate clause, just like what we discussed a while ago. Subordinate or dependent clause. And similar to the single word adverb, because from the word itself, adverb. So that's the reason why it is similar to adverb. Naging clause nga lang, adverb clause. So adverb clause modifies verbs, adjectives, adverbs, or verbals. So when we say verbals, they are participle, gerund, or infinitive. So usually adverb clause tell where, when, in what manner, to what extent, under what condition, or why the action happened. Okay? An adverb clause is introduced by subordinating conjunction such as although, because, if, were, and why. So while. So we have here another clue. So subordinating conjunctions. Just like this one. We were in the 7th grade when we first met. So when we first met is an adverb clause because it begins with a subordinating conjunction were. Okay? So another, at first, communicating with a deaf friend was hard because I didn't know how to use sign language. So because, we have here because as subordinating conjunction, and it explains why. Okay? So this one, it explains when. So that is, or those are examples of adverb clauses. Number 3, we have a noun clause. So a noun clause may be used as a subject, just like noun praise. But it can also be used as a predicate nominative, a direct object, or an indirect object, a object of a preposition, or an object of a verbal. So many uses of noun clause. But you have here clues again. So some common introductory words for noun clauses are how, that, what, whatever, when, whenever, where, wherever, whether, which, whichever, who, whoever, whom, whomever, whose, and why. So they are used as clue for you to find out if it is a noun clause. And usually, these are the uses. For example, this one, a slogan that we need for this campaign should be catchy and appealing. So that is our introductory word, and we need to underline after the period, and this is used as predicate nominative because it is found almost in the predicate. Okay, Micah said she will buy whatever you want. So whatever is an introductory word, and you will underline after the period, and this one is called a noun clause. Okay, so now let us go on to the last one. So the last one is a sentence. So we already had two. We have phrase and clause. And the last one, we have number 3, sentence. So remember, class, that a sentence is a word or group of words that expresses a complete thought. So when we say complete thought, complete message, because a thought is complete when it makes sense by itself. No, the details are complete. It contains a subject and a predicate. So remember, a subject is what or whom the sentence is about, the one being talked about in the sentence, while the predicate tells something about the subject. Okay? So we have here example of sentence. So the people observe social distancing. So in this case, the people is our subject because they are the doer of the action. And observe social distancing is our predicate because it tells something about the people. It tells something about the subject. And this is complete because we have a subject and a predicate, and it makes sense. That's why it is a sentence. So we also have kinds of sentences according to functions. So this one is very much familiar to you. So we have the first one. We have declarative sentence. So declarative sentence is simply statement that relay information. Parang nagkukwento lang. Just like in Tagalog, it is pasalaysay. Okay? It is the most common type of sentences in the English language because it is commonly used. Just like in our discussion for today, I always use declarative sentences. So it states a fact or an opinion and lets the reader know something specific. And remember, class, that a declarative sentence always ends with a period. Okay? So again, declarative sentence is a statement. Nagkukwento lang, just like this one. Norma is taking care of the needs of her daughter. So you are just telling someone that Norma is taking care of her daughter very much. Okay? So she plays the piano passionately. Nagkikwento ka lang na she likes playing piano. And all of us need love and care. So those are declarative sentences, and if you will notice, they all end with a period. Also, we have imperative sentence. So imperative sentence is used to convey a command, naguutos, a request, or a forbiddance. Pinagbabawa, just like that. So this type of sentence always takes the second person. So you are just talking to someone or you for the subject, but most of the time the subject remains hidden. So just like this one, never forget the person who loves you. So all more on command or forbiddance. So run. Run is also a command. So please wait silently. So that is a request. So, and if you will notice, imperative sentence also ends with a period. Okay? So imagine this one, run. Run is already a sentence, but it is very short. So do not be mistaken, and you will write run as praise because run is complete. When you told someone to run, he will run because it makes sense. Okay? So you understand. You understand that you need to run. So even if it is just one word, it is a sentence. And that is an imperative sentence. Number 3, we have interrogative sentence. So of course, interrogative sentence is used in asking questions. And if you are asking questions, you need to have question mark. So we have here this one, a question. It begins with the WH. That's the reason why this question is a WH question. But it is interrogative sentence. Interrogative sentence, interrogative, and interrogative. In this case, these are yes-no questions because these are answerable by yes or no. But they are under interrogative sentences, and they end in a question mark. So again, another typographical error. And we also have here exclamatory sentence. So exclamatory sentence expresses strong feeling or show excitement. It is followed by an exclamation point. So matinding damdamin, just like that. So we have here, wow, that last 800-meter race just broke the high school track record. So we have here the strong feeling. Wow, ouch, oh. So they are all showing strong feeling. So that's the reason why it has an exclamation point. And this example is an example of exclamatory sentence. Okay? So you can find this activity in your module. All you need to do is to identify if the given is a phrase, a clause, or a sentence. So I hope you listen very carefully to the discussion a while ago for you to better answer this activity. Okay? So just like what I am always telling you, if you have questions, please don't be shy to ask me. Okay? So enjoy learning, everyone, and have a great day. Goodbye!